I'm not going to be using right now. So on your browser, navigate to the GitHub. From here, we're going to create a new repository. I'm going to call it the same name as I have on my localhost, create a repository. After creating a repository, you're going to need to go back to the Heruku website to log into Heruku account. Now on the Heruku dashboard, on the top right side, you're going to see the new button. You're just going to click in there, create a new app. Give the app the name. I'm going to call it the same name as I used on the entire project. You're going to be able to choose the region, either in United States or Europe. I'm going to choose Europe. Create an app. From inside the app, there are different ways to deploy your project, but this time I'm going to show you how to deploy it via GitHub. Now by default, it selects the Heruku Git, which will allow you to actually deploy your app within the command line without interacting anything with web interface. We're going to select GitHub option. From here, you're going to need to connect to a repository in which store all the codes that you want to deploy to the Heruku server. I'm going to make a little search here. I'm going to choose my app which I want to connect to, and I want to enable automatic deployment. Now if you have any tests on your project and want to enable continuous integration, you can just click on here as well, but since this is a brand new project, I'm not going to choose that option. And that's everything you need to do by now on the Heruku dashboard. Now in the meantime, I can see that my project is successfully built and a new tab is automatically opened by the O flag. After verifying the app is working, you want to prepare the Express server serve the app on Heruku. So open the new command interface and install Express. I use yarn, but you can use npm, that won't make anything different. So install the Express. In the meantime, I also want to open the project I have just created on my IDE. So you have to understand that when the app is copied to the Heruku server, there are a number of events happens. The most important one is that the production server will read your package.json file to install all the app dependencies. There are a few things that we need to change inside the package.json file. The first thing you want to do is that you want to modify the scripts field. First of all, you need to remove this start property, because on the production server, it won't need to use any ng-serve. You want to have something that continuously serving your app all the time so that everyone can access your app online anytime. So the first property you want to add after you have installed all the needed dependencies is you want Heruku to build the project for you, so you don't have to build it on your local site. So I'm going to add the property called post install. Now from here, I'm going to use the command ng build with the AOT flag and for production server. Keep in mind that if you want to do more things than just building the app, you can use the NN sign to actually, like write more commands. So for example, if you want to use any feature of the text runner or anything, you can utilize this to achieve that. Another property you want to add also is the stat. So the stat property up here we have just removed is the one that we use that for serving the app locally, but when deploying to Heruku, you want your Express server to serve your app instead of. So I'm going to use a node command and I'm going to run the server.js script. Now keep in mind that this server.js file is not yet existed. You're going to create this file after you have finished modifying all the needed dependencies inside the package.json. The second field you want to modify is the field dependencies. You're going to need to put two dependencies from the development dependencies, which supposed not be installed on the production server, back to the dependencies. Angular CLI and an Angular compiler CLI to the dependencies. Now another field you want to need to add as well to complete modifying the package.json is the field called engines. This field is where you want to state your Node.js version and your package manager version. So you're going to need to check your Node.js version first using the v flag. Inside here, you're going to state the exact version of the Node.js. The second one is your package manager engine. I use Yan, but if you use npm, you can check with the v flag as well. Yes, so that's everything you need to do in the package.json file. So I'm gonna close this one, and from the root tree you're gonna create one more file called the server.js. This server.js file is where you're holding all the script needed to start a Express server. So I'm gonna create some basic script in order for Express to be able to run on Heruku. Okay, here's the only two lines you need to understand. The first line is the app use, which I have set this folder inside the root tree. This folder will be generated after the Angular build is run on the Heruku server. And the listen option is where I tell the Express server to listen from the default port of Heruku 8080 to get the traffic from outside. Lastly, you need to push the local project to GitHub master branch. To do that, you're going to need to navigate back to your GitHub dashboard. And since you don't have any code just yet, all you need to do is copy this line, the remote at origin. This line will help you to connect your local Git to the remote Git. And I'll come back here and paste this line there. The next thing is that I want to add all the untracked files to your Git. Now I also want to commit all the changes. And I want to push them also to the remote Git repository. Now remember that we have enabled the automatic deployment on Heruku, where the Heruku app connects to this repository. Now that you have pushed the code, Heruku will automatically read the package.json file and execute all the scripts you have defined. Really, all you need to do right now is just go to P and then come back and enjoy the result. By all means, if you're curious to see what happened behind the scene, just navigate to the Heruku dashboard. Open your app. Open the activity tab, and you'll see that the build is already started and Heruku is automatically executing all the scripts that we have defined as well. If you want to see the build progress, you can just click in there. Here you can see the log of all the activities that Heruku has just gone through. Once it's done without any errors, just copy the link and paste it to your browser to check. And congratulations, here we go, your app is running on Heruku. I hope you guys enjoy the video and make it through. I will put the resource and materials of this video aside when my blog is ready, and the link would be somewhere in the description below. If you encounter any problem or any strange error, just leave me the comment below. I'll try my best to help you troubleshoot that. Thank you and have fun.